Yes, Miss Gemma, do you have a question? Hello, Miss Gemma?
Ayan. Hello, sir.
Yes, Miss Gemma. Oo.
Apo. Yung tanong ko po, sir, is what would be the best way in order to prepare the mindset of the students regarding the new normal? Kasi hindi po sila sanay talaga doon sa home-based learning. That's why po, one problem that we have now, they are airing their views, their grievances regarding the online learning through their social media.
Mm-mm.
Mhm. Papaano po kaya namin 'to maia-address? Kasi they want the face-to-face learning, pero that is too risky naman po.
Yes,
So, how are we going to address this po? Even the parents, hindi din po sila sanay dito that we are going to have bigger responsibility pagka po ang mga anak nila ay nasa bahay na. So, ang hirap po talaga, 360 degrees po ang transition.
I'll address your question, ma'am, in two ways, no? One, before you move to a formal online learning program, I think it's best that you have parang yung mga trial sessions with students and with parents. For students, so that they're able to warm up with the system, if you're doing synchronous, and it has to be synchronous, you cannot maintain the same class size as in face-to-face. So if your regular class size is 40, you do not do online with the 40. So you may have to divide up the class into several groups. Kung 40 yan, depending on the grade level, kung high school yan, pwedeng dalawang grupo lang. So 20, 20. Kung grade school, baka tatlong grupo siya. Um, um, this is putting now this will kind of develop, no, the confidence of students and even parents in the online learning system. You need to emphasize that online is best for their children because it will have a more focused engagement. So you could just imagine from 40, I'll be handling 20. Or kung 40, i-divide mo by 3, mas konti siya. Okay, don't worry about the compensation. The teacher would still be paid one amount. Okay, because when you do the online, the 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 the, the time, the duration of the online learning session cannot be the same. It's a face to face. It's normally shorter. So therefore, the teacher can do three runs within the day. So isang klase yon. So I suppose my suggestion is to do a trial session for your students. If you're looking at August pa lang, then perhaps you can do June, no? Para lahat ng bata medyo magkaroon na ng experience yan, and even parents, no ma'am, na medyo ma-train din sa ganyan at sila medyo ma-open sa ganong mindset. So do not to, kumbaga, kind of simulate the online learning system prior to the opening of formal classes. Kasi doon medyo, at least you can still do adjustments, no, during the trial period. No? Kung may mga comments yung mga bata, yung mga magulang, etc.
Okay, thank you po, sir.
Meron pa ba tayo? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Sige. It's if this is the first time you're doing a school resiliency plan, it will take some time, no? However, you can start doing it right now because the situation warrant, no, yung school resiliency plan. So ang sinasabi ko lang dito, hindi pa rin natin kabisado yung behavior ng coronavirus. So we don't know. You know, for now we're saying, oh sige, opening August. What if there's going to be a surge when we move to ECQ? Baka totaling sasabihin na. Remember, ang pag-aaral ng UP, classes should be suspended until December. Yun ang recommendation ng UP. Dapat December, hanggang December hindi pumapasok ang mga estudyante. So in other words, that is another reference point. Kung ang sinasabi ngayon ng gobyerno, pag sinabi ng gobyerno, sige, walang klase hanggang December, ilang buwan ang tinitignan natin? What about their employees? What about their faculty? So, but that's a possibility. That's a possibility. So you may want to look at that situation. All right. So more or less, this is a comprehensive framework, no, for school resiliency plan. My own take is that you go through the process and then later I'll show you a simpler template. This is a simpler template. Si sister ang humingi nito. So I'm just limiting the operational assessment to risk identification and just determining the impact. And then we retain the mitigation and contingency plan if you don't want that. So some people just want they just want the gut feel to make that one. So you can do this one, the shortcut, or you can do the long one. Okay. So responding to the new normal, I like this, no? Sharon Rainey said, through each crisis in my life, with acceptance and hope, in a single defining moment, I finally gained the courage to do things differently. I guess this is the call of the time, no? To do things differently. No? Again, I'll emphasize that it cannot be the same. It cannot be the same. I for one know that this will stay, no, with us. Just to share, si Ma'am Gemma kanina nagsasabi siya, you are giving internet support, no? Allowance, how much? You're looking at 700 pesos, ma'am?
Ano po, sir? 1,000 a month.
Sige, 1,000 a month. That is, paano kung meron na talaga silang internet?
Kasi para maging fair lang po, bibigyan po lahat. Pero pinag-aaralan pa po yun, sir.
Okay, tama naman siya, ma'am. I'm saying this because, one, kung walang internet sila, dito nila gagamitin. Kung meron silang internet, they can use that. I'll just give you an example. This Zoom platform, this is my personal subscription. So I pay 700 pesos a month. So this is what I use in my meetings with my staff, and this is also what I use for my classes. I do online classes kasi. So this is what I use. So in terms of the amount, so what I'm saying is, kahit ako, we have to do some personal investment. This is here to stay anyway. So kaysa naman yung pa-prepaid, ito na ang gagawin. O kaya naman nakikilibre pa tayo sa Zoom. Pwede nyo na tignan yung ganon. No? So things will be done differently. There is something I like about doing meetings online. No? One, it's feedback is easier. It's easier pag online rather than pag face-to-face. Minsan it takes a lot of time. I guess there is convenience to doing this online thing, no? Ang daling magpatawag ng meeting, no? You just gather and then meron na kayo. So it simulates a face-to-face thing. But I guess what's important now is again your departure from what you have been used to and doing things differently. The wearing of mask, for instance, ito yan, the wearing of mask, and then the alcohol, ito na yung kapalit ng makeup ninyo eh, no? So, you have to bring, ako nasanay na, every time bibili ako, alcohol, every time ganito, alcohol, hugas ka pagdating mo ng bahay. The hygiene part becomes a routine, and that I think will play out in the coming in long years. Whether may crisis o wala, I think that's a good practice. No? So yun, openness to do things differently. But I like the term courage eh. Kasi some people do not want to shift simply because they don't have the courage yet. I mean, it's difficult enough to be in a crisis and not knowing and very uncertain of what will happen. Ang hirap naman na bibitawan ko lahat yung kinasanayan ko. No? That's how it. I'll go back to tough is to responding to the new normal. When you go to your respective schools and you have a meeting, I think it's important for you to, ako, this is a good guide already. No? Kikilos lang kayo sa apat na perspective. In the new normal, what is what things something new that the school should learn. I think klaro na yon. Magulang, estudyante, faculty, employees, they have to learn how to use virtual platforms. Okay? Okay? They have to try something different. And what is that? They have to find something better. What is that? And see something bigger. One of the things that you probably will have to do, as I said, is for you to come up with your own virtual employee engagement. It's good that you connect with one another, and that has to be pursued deliberately and systematically by your schools, right? Okay, what would be the new normal for schools? Number one, the alternative delivery of instruction and services. So we're looking at, I think in reality, we're just saying blended. Online, face-to-face, and then learning packets. The other blending would be synchronous and asynchronous learning. Physical distancing is going to be the new norm. So your canteen, your clinics have to reduce beds if you create and you create a satellite clinic, no? So you will have to reduce the bed capacity of your clinic for social distancing. Look at your cafeteria, the capacity will have to be reduced as well. So, and then you have to look at the traffic. I mean, when I say traffic, the foot traffic, you will have to assign entrances and exits. Hindi na pa pwedeng dati na nagkakasunod. Alright? Can I just share what you probably will have to do? I don't know who's in charge in your school nung looking at the operation of office yung office movement, yung protocol ninyo sa loob ng opisina, who's taking charge of that? I will suggest something to you. if and when you are allowed to report for work on June 1, you may want to have a simulation of physical distancing prior to June 1. Okay? As I have said 2 days ago, we did a simulation of physical distancing within HR just to find out how we can implement physical distancing, because the risk involved in not following physical distancing could be severe, kasi baka ito magkaroon ng infection. Okay? Um, what is the new normal? From our end, for instance, those who are taking the public transportation will work from home. We will not allow them to report to the physical campus. Why? Again, a risk perspective, they have higher risk of exposure to public places and therefore higher vulnerability. So for now, that's how it will be. All right. The new normal is, I think, to the advantage of parents, education will be cheaper. Okay, and this is a bitter pill that has to be swallowed by school administrators. The fee you collect from students using online or alternative learning systems cannot be higher than what you ask in the traditional delivery of instruction. Kasi ang daming mawawala doon sa mga miscellaneous at saka sa inyong basic fees. So, again, the computation will change. Okay? As I think the new normal is rewriting the rules of competition. And to the advantage of parents and students, we will see, I will tell you why I'm saying this. Since Ateneo de Manila released their initial memo that there will be no tuition fee increase, there will be reduction of these fees, the other universities in Manila did the same thing. No tuition fee increase, reduce. See the competition? The competition is lowering the price. It's no longer, um, raising prices. So ito yung opportunity nakita nating maganda. Hindi masyado sa eskwelahan, no? Kasi bababa ang revenue. Pero maganda sa mga magulang, estudyante, because now I think, sans the problem in technology and connectivity, you're making education more accessible. Again, from your end, you might be lowering your fees, but you can go for volume. You can go for volume. That's my own take here. No? An opportunity also for you. Okay, so that one. Next would be alternative work arrangement. Okay, alternative work arrangement. What are we saying here? Minention ko na kanina, work from home, rotation, etc. Main premise here is you cannot do 100% deployment of employees once work resumes. So you have to follow the 50%. What we're saying is that you need to decongest offices. Why? Because the moment you allow students to go to the campus, you add on the number of students who might go to this office. So even that one, I will tell you what you will have to do, no? Kailangan merong crowd control din yan. At one time, ilang estudyante lang ang pwedeng pumasok sa registrar's office, sa guidance office. Alright? Ilan lang ang pwedeng ganitong gawin. So this is the new normal, no? Next would be different compensation schemes. Okay? I did mention dalawa na. No? One is a compensation that's based on deliverables if you're using alternative work arrangement, and the traditional, which is based on increments of time. Next would be to configure benefits package. Hindi na pwede yung traditional. I yeah, just to give you an example, we have given out our uniform allowance. There's no point in insisting on a uniform allowance that they buy, so we gave it as in monetary form. So you can think of other things, and therefore, in this slide, you may want to consider now just giving them an allowance that can be used for multiple purposes, no? So, yan. Now, uh, let me just answer some questions here before we proceed. Um, we are seriously considering reducing tuition fees, but our concern is, will the government still be able to pay the ESC subsidy? I think the government will still pay. Ang akin lang, my suggestion here is, do not reduce tuition fee. Huwag kayong mag-increase lang. Ang i-reduce ninyo yung miscellaneous and basic fees. Huwag niyo na kayong mag-reduce ng tuition fee. Don't follow Ateneo because they have resources eh. Because the source of salaries and benefits you give to your employees comes from the tuition fee. 70% of that goes to salaries of employees. So in other words, ma'am, my suggestion is do not reduce your tuition fee, but do not increase. You can reduce miscellaneous because these are direct costs. For instance, baka wag na kayong maningil ng ano ba dito? Wag na kayong maningil ng ano yung mga activities, kasi wala nang activities for this school year eh. This coming school year. So wag na kayong mangolekta noon. Ayun. Yun ang mga titingnan nyo po. But the subsidy, I think the government is committed. Okay, question, inquiry. Number 1, your preference on enterprise LMS versus free LMS. Okay, I would go for, do not go for free LMS. I mean, you have to invest. Long-term investment na po ang LMS ngayon because that will stay. As I have said, the online learning platform will now be part of your regular menu in terms of your academic program. Your advice to school administrators on reappropriating miscellaneous fees to augment LMS. Pwede naman po yung gawin, no? Ang importante lang ngayon, I think, kasi kung magbabawas din kayo, and then you can reappropriate, how much will they pay for the LMS? Okay lang po yan kasi direct cost yan sa mga estudyante. So, okay siya. Sir, you say that education is cheaper in the new normal. Will this have an impact on the subsidy given? Wala naman. I think it's the same answer. No? Same question. Wala. It's not going to be there will not be no impact. If education becomes cheaper, are we not losing more the teachers to the public school? That's the risk. Remember, private schools are not funded by government. So if you're not able to keep up your tuition fee, the risk is really losing your faculty and moving to the public school. So it can aggravate the migration of private teachers to public schools if education becomes cheaper. So yeah, I think I have answered the questions. So let me continue. Responding to the new normal. This is something I'd like you to really think about. The real question is not what does the new normal look like. Okay? Parang alam naman na natin eh. Rather it is Having seen the new normal, what must we do? One, institutionally, what must we keep from that past? Ano yung pwede nating i-keep pa dun sa nakaraan? Hmm. Kung marami kang naging ex, sino ang pwede mong i-keep pa para maging kaibigan? So I'm actually looking at the clash point between tradition and innovation. So you can be innovative and not necessarily and you're not necessarily against your own tradition. But this is a decision point. Now that this is the new normal, what must you keep from the past? Okay? Second, if you want to keep something from the past, you also have to identify which one naman you should lose from the past. Ano yung kailangan bitawan na? Ano yung kailangan bitawan na? There's going to be a lot of reconfiguration in the new normal. Both management and faculty. I think faculty employees cannot insist on the practices before. They cannot insist on getting everything when there is some financial difficulty being experienced by the school. Kung nasanay sila ng overload, baka hindi na dapat mag-overload ngayon. Just so you can keep everyone. And then, lastly, what do we want to create in our present to get there? To that point where we want to say, this is the new school responding to a new normal. What do you want to create? I think in the discussion, several things came up. We're looking at the many challenges confronting schools right now in responding to the new normal. Learning management system, acceptance of teacher, acceptance of parents, of students, okay? Training of faculty. So there are many challenges. But one thing that schools will have to be clear about, and I think dapat ito po yung pagkaaksayahan nyo ng panahon ngayon, ay ang pag-uusap ng management. Ano ba ang gusto na nating itsura ng eskwelahan natin ngayon? People, you will have to start talking about it. It's no longer just looking at finances, looking at learning, online learning platform. Given all of these elements, anong klaseng eskwelahan ba ang gusto na natin ngayon as a response to the new normal? Are we still keeping that old brand of the school? Or are we moving towards this direction? So what is that image that comes to mind about the kind of school you have right now? This is important because it might be, I'm not saying it should happen, it is possible that you might have to do some rebranding now in terms of your education, what you offer. Bakit kailangan ng rebranding? Because everyone will be moving towards the same direction. Online platform. The question is, what will you be doing differently? What will you be doing differently? That's going to be the new normal. Everyone will go online. What will you be doing differently that will make you stand out from the rest?
Yung junior high school, kailangan daw valorisin lang.
Mute ko lang. Alright? Alright, sige. Anin ko muna to and then I'll answer the questions. So these are the flashpoints dealing with the new normal. Focus on school year 2020-2021. Number one is ito yung continuity of learning and teaching under different platforms instead of face-to-face engagement. Okay. I'll be upfront with you. Dapat ngayon you have decided kung ano ang gagamitin yung LMS. Beginning second half of May, you should start training faculty. Because you will also be training students, you will still be training parents. So, I mean, if you're still on that stage of discussing what LMS, what online platform will you use, I think you need to hasten the process. Because in terms of timeline, masyado nang late yon, right? Managing faculty and employees when enrollment is uncertain. I think you need to have several scenarios, no? And pinpoint a worst case scenario where you cannot keep everyone and what will be your action. All right? Okay. I will also tell you a phenomenon that is happening with other employees insofar as the lockdown experience is concerned. Okay. Some some employees are willing to stop working. Okay? I've heard people say, or parents, or in particular mothers, Happy Mother's Day para sa mga ina on Sunday. Ay, kung magiging online na at magbabago na yung platform ng learning ng anak ko, I'd rather be with my children than work. Isa yun. Right? Some have reflections already. Nasabi nila that the lockdown has afforded me and made me realize that I want to be a housewife so that I can really take care of my husband and my family. Okay? Let's not forget that while we're looking at the institution, kaya importante sa akin your constant communication with your employees. Something is also happening in their lives. They have their own reflections. They have their own concerns. So importante 'yon, no? Kasi mamaya nagpro-problema kayo kung paano niyo swelduhan lahat ng mga empleyado. Marami na pala sa empleyado niyo gusto na rin umalis. Not because they don't like the school, but things have changed from their end because of the lockdown. So please do consider the life circumstances now of your employees because I tell you, certain things have changed from their end. Certain things have changed from their end. Um, I myself, no, for instance, although my children are already I only have two children, and they both are professional. That means they're working. But we've just stayed together during the lockdown, and I appreciate the lockdown because I had